Hello everybody, welcome to Story Time. I'm your host, Zack Scott, and today we'll be reading the story Alleycat Blues, written by Zack Scott. I wrote this story in 6th grade. It was an assignment. I would have been a preteen then, for those of you ladies who are into that. It's a kid's story written by a kid, and I was inspired by Aladdin. Alleycat Blues is a story of a bunch of alley cats who find a saxophone with a magical genie inside. Alleycat Blues was actually the title of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game level. I was a big fan of that game as well. So I was both inspired by Aladdin and by Ninja Turtles for this. I think you'll see the similarities. Once upon a time, in an alley, lived 4 cats: Sylvia, Max, Tom, and Alleycat. He's the main character. They all had their good times, but they were mostly sad. They all lived in trash cans and their lives were pretty boring. All they did was play the saxophone that Alleycat found. Alleycat was real greedy, so he played it the most. Max and Tom were brothers. Max was rich, so he could buy another home, but, well, he wanted to stay with his friends. Sylvia was Max's girlfriend. You know, you think with Max being rich, he could have just helped out his friends and, bought a home and moved them all there. One day, the saxophone broke. "Well, looky here, the sax broke into pieces," said Tom. "You know how long it took to find that saxophone?" said Alleycat. "How did it break?" said Alleycat. "I was playing it and it dropped to the ground," said Tom. "Now I'll have to find a new one," said Alleycat. And Alleycat went hunting for a new one. He looked everywhere, but he couldn't find one. He went back to the alley, and there, just sitting, was a saxophone. "Where did you get this?" said Alleycat. "In the castle that you were afraid to go in, because there was an evil wizard inside," said Sylvia. Why would Alleycat be afraid of that? "Does it work?" said Alleycat. "I don't know," said Sylvia. "Why don't you try it and see?" said Sylvia. Alleycat blew the saxophone. "It works," said Alleycat. Then all of a sudden, smoke started to come out of the saxophone. "What's happening?" said Max. Here's an illustration depicting the scene. "What did you do, Sylvia?" said Max. Then the smoke cleared. There was a person floating in the air. "You have freed me," said the person. "I will grant you each 3 wishes if you destroy the wizard," said the person. This genie just doesn't grant wishes for free. He doesn't care about his freedom. He'll grant you the wishes if you destroy his enemy. That's what I like about him. There's a little twist I added. It's not quite like Aladdin. It's a little twist, courtesy of the brilliant young author Zack Scott. "That's simple," said Alleycat. "I could do that in a second," said Alleycat. "Don't count on getting 3 wishes. There's no way we could do that," said Max. "With my help you can," said the genie. "He has a jewel hanging from his neck. If you break the jewel, he'll no longer be here." Foreshadowing? Here's the picture. I spelled genie with a J. That's another way my version is different. All of them went out of the alley to get to the castle. Sylvia led the line. They came to the castle. "Crossbones, stop them from entering the castle," the evil wizard said, looking through the magic mirror he wished from the genie. "Yes, sir," said Crossbones. Here's the illustration. So the evil wizard already wished a mirror from the genie. I guess the genie didn't give the wizard any sort of conditions for granting him wishes, but for these cats, they got to do something for him before he's going to grant their wishes. Crossbones had met up with them. The genie made a boulder start to fall. Crossbones saw the boulder and he ran away. They all went into the castle. The castle was filled with traps. So the genie made them go to the room that the wizard was in with magic. So, believe it or not, the genie is a great help. He takes him to the castle. He scares Crossbones away with a boulder, and then since the castle is filled with traps, the genie just teleports them to the room the wizard's in already. Here's the illustration. As you can see, Crossbones is running away from the boulder there. "So you have come," said the wizard. His henchmen grabbed them and hanged them from a rope. The wizard took the genie away. I don't know how. "Now the genie is in my powers," said the wizard. "Hey, where is Alleycat?" said Sylvia. Max looked around. "I don't know," said Max. "Here I am," said Alleycat. He was standing by the doorway. Alleycat ran to the wizard. He took off the jewel and threw it out the window. "No!" said the wizard, disappearing. "Let's go home," said Tom. So I guess what happened is Alleycat threw the jewel and the wizard disappeared in like kind of a poof of smoke. When they got home, they each got 3 wishes. They each wished for 1,000,000 wishes. Even a castle in place of the alley. The end. That's their new home, right there. So yeah, that was Alleycat Blues, a story of a gang of cats who freed a genie, was contractually obligated to kill a wizard in order to get 3 wishes from the genie, and then forever enslaved the genie with 1,000,000 wishes. Their new castle. Similar to the wizard, I suppose. Who knows? I wrote a sequel. Maybe I'll read it later. It doesn't have illustrations, but thank you guys for watching and listening to me read the fantastic story of Alleycat Blues, inspired by Aladdin and Ninja Turtles, written and illustrated by Zack Scott in the 6th grade. Until next time, keep reading.